Hello and welcome to Current Issues with me, Tarun. The National Green Tribunal wants to ban diesel vehicles over 10 years old in at least 15 cities across the country to bring down pollution levels. The NGT has already banned the use of vehicles which were 10 years old in Delhi, which was extended to Kerala recently. Last December, the NGT also banned registration of diesel vehicles that were over 2000 cc in Delhi. In addition, even diesel-powered taxis were barred from plying in the capital. The Central Pollution Control Board has identified a list of 15 cities where over 10-year-old diesel vehicles will be banned. These are Amritsar, Pune, Jalandhar, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Ludhiana, Chennai, Varanasi, Lucknow, Kanpur, Allahabad, Bengaluru, Patna, Kolkata, Mumbai. The central government has also requested the court not to extend a ban on the movement of diesel vehicles more than 10 years old, which will be imposed in Delhi to other cities. Automobile manufacturers have made strong statements against the decision of NGT. Maruti Suzuki chairman R.C. Bhargava said, and I quote, "If people investing totally in accordance with the government's rules and regulations are not allowed to sell, what can you do? If a company like Toyota or Mercedes-Benz says we have lost confidence and then it also makes other MNCs question their future investment." End of quote. Today we discuss the issue with automobile expert Tutu Dhawan and Vivek Chattopadhyay. He's manager air control unit of the Center for Science and Environment, an agency which has been advocated banning of diesel vehicles on account of high pollution is what they claim. Vivek, could you tell me why has CSE been at the forefront of demanding such an action?
See, the diesel issue is not just about the ban. If you look at the entire air pollution case that has been happening in Delhi, in the beginning phase it was phasing out of the diesel buses, replacing them with clean fuels, that is CNG, and now that has happened with the taxis also. Directions have been passed. Similarly, for your auto rickshaws, two-stroke auto rickshaws switched over to CNG auto rickshaws, and the primary focus was to reduce the air pollution in the city, and diesel was one of the major pollutant and in terms of health impacts. So it was categorized as a polluting fuel, and environmentally acceptable fuels were CNG, LPG, battery, electric vehicles, and ultra low sulfur diesel, that is 10 ppm sulfur diesel, which is actually the Euro 6 emission standards that they require for. So this is the legacy of the issue, and right now what is happening, the diesel cars have been blamed by all of the agencies, like for example not just India. Earlier it was tested in US, thereafter Government of India also carried out tests at ARAI. They also found that it is emitting more than the prescribed emission limits, and in fact the government's own data from ARAI indicated that diesel cars are emitting about 7.5 times more toxics and particulate matter than petrol cars. So all this led to this kind of situation that is actually leading to such bans. But also there is a roadmap now that by 2020 Euro 6 norms will be there. So I think till then we have to be very restrictive of the use of diesel to reduce the pollution impact.
Okay, point taken. I'll go across to Tutu Dhawan on the other end of the spectrum. Tutu, you heard what R.C. Bhargav, the chairman of Maruti Suzuki, said. You also have heard what Toyota said when it said that we have invested around 1200 crores in a new diesel engine plant, and midway suddenly we get a decision wherein which we are told that okay, you can't sell vehicles over 2000 cc in Delhi and NCR areas. They say that's over 15% of their business. Do you think such a decision has come as a shock to vehicle manufacturers in the country?
Yes, indeed. I think this is a very unfair decision that has been taken by the Honorable Court. I think there should have been a little more debate on this issue before this drastic step would have been taken. See, there is an anomaly in this entire thing by saying that since the government doesn't give them Euro 6 fuel, how can a manufacturer try to give you a cleaner engine? Although their technology is available with all manufacturers today, these same multinationals who are manufacturing these automobiles abroad, they are running the Euro 6 norms and the pollutions are under control. Here in India, we have still not been able to put Euro 4 in our commercial vehicles, forget about getting Euro 6 for our passenger cars.
Okay, point taken. So, I will have my team show some graphics on the screen in front of you right now about what happens in the United States of America with regards to diesel options. In America, you got 32 passenger cars and SUVs as diesel options and 17 pickup trucks and vans. If tomorrow's projected options in America would be 43 passenger cars and SUVs and 18 pickup trucks and vans. So, this is the case in the United States of America. Now, chairmen and CEOs of leading automobile companies are saying that in higher engine capacities, diesel is suitable and it actually emits low CO2. Is this true? I would like to ask Vivek. Do you think the auto industry is also correct in saying that diesel is suited because all over the world diesel is used and it is low sulfur and CO2 emissions are lower? So, why take a knee-jerk reaction of suddenly banning? In effect, people have committed investments of thousands of crores and suddenly you ban it one day. So, people lose the confidence to invest in India. Don't you think so?
See, I think the directions of the court or are in interest of public health, and it's not against any industry. It's about the public health impact that is happening in the cities and with the increased dieselization of the passenger vehicle segment. And this has actually the legacy of our distorted fuel pricing, and government never able to correct that. And also there was no action being taken by the government to impose a penalty on the fuel tax incentive that the cars enjoy in terms of lower taxes on fuel. So this led to this situation, and I think the way out is only that government has to expedite the reforms in the fuel segment and bring in the stringent technology. And another way is to impose a pollution tax which can take away the incentives, fuel tax incentive and the public health damage that can cause by diesel cars. Then only diesel cars can be allowed. I think this is the way out.
Do you agree with the contention of Vivek?
Well, he has his own point. I would also like to point out, when you are banning 2-liter cars, you mean 2000 cc. And here, what about the engines which are 1996 cc or 1994 cc? They also emit the similar amount of emissions. So, I see there has to be a debate on all this. And let me tell you, bigger engines, they run leaner. They don't run on overtax. It's the small engines which are perpetually overtaxed and running on higher capacity.
So, that is what the automobile manufacturers have been saying, that bigger engine capacities necessarily wouldn't pollute much. So, Tutu, do you think it makes sense to even ban diesel vehicles, or do you think it has this has not been a well thought out decision, and the automobile industry should have been taken into confidence, because it is they who have invested or are going to invest roughly around 50,000 crore rupees in diesel engine manufacturing capacities. I hear that is the amount of committed investment. Do you think that the industry was not at all taken into confidence before such a decision was taken?
I don't think the industry was even informed that this decision is going to be taken. In fact, there should have been a bigger debate on this subject by the honorable panel who is going to be advising the Supreme Court and the government. And this cannot happen just overnight. There has to be a proper phase out time by which you would be able to phase out certain emitting vehicles and you start going into greener vehicles. And of course, the government has to be proactive when you are talking of hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles, giving them concessions in excise and taxes and so on, plus starting charging stations and all. Look at, we have to now look at the future, not just by banning these diesel vehicles is going to help. We are now supposed to be going into electric vehicles, and by 2030, 95% of the world would probably be running on electric vehicles. And here in India, we haven't even thought of giving any rebate or concessions to people who are manufacturing these vehicles.
But Tutu, could you tell me a point? As Maruti Suzuki chairman R.C. Bhargav has said, do you think that such a decision could lead to a shake of confidence, or the investor confidence would be shaken up by such decision and they would be scared to invest in India, or at least very cautious before they commit any investment to the country?
It is obvious. It is obvious. Look at the automotive industry, which is already contributing almost 43% to the GDP.
Yes.
I mean, you are trying to suffocate them. Are you trying to what signal are you trying to give them? I mean, they have the choice of not coming to India at all and doing their own business in their own countries and so on, and in fact in China or in other places. But you have to be proactive. I mean, how can you just suddenly stop somebody from manufacturing or registering automobiles in a particular region? And this region actually takes in almost 25% of the total capacity of the automobiles in India.
Okay, point taken. We've got a caller, Arjun from Ambala wants to come in. Arjun, what point do you have to make?
Huh?
Arjun, what point do you have to make?
No, Tamil.
Yes, Arjun.
Tamil.
Tamil as in?
Huh?
Yes, tell me. Okay, I think we have lost Arjun on the line. Let me go across to Vivek. Vivek, do you think that this decision was taken in haste, wherein which 5,000 jobs related to the diesel manufacturing facilities have been lost, 47,000 jobs are at risk, thousands of crores of investment is underway, and in the middle this decision has said, do you think even as somebody who supports banning diesel vehicles, this thing could have been well thought out, or the automobile industry should have been taken into confidence?
See, when you talk about the job loss and the investments, then definitely cost and benefit analysis has to go beyond just the economics of sale and building, like making a vehicle. I think health cost, health benefits, all those are taken into account globally, and I think this is one of the factors that tighter emission standards have been introduced successively. So I think the approach should be, and when we say about the car manufacturers, they are facing the similar kind of legislations in, say, in Japan or in Europe. The recent Volkswagen issue also happened in US also. So I think India is not unique in that case, that there is a demand for reducing the diesel emissions. So the concerns have been also raised by the World Health Organization, which said that diesel exhaust is a carcinogen.
Vivek, we have a caller, and then I'll again take your opinion. Abhinav, are you on the line?
My question is that, whether there is any other alternative to banning of diesel cars. So is there any other alternative you have other than banning the diesel cars?
Okay, point taken. I'll go across to Tutu Dhawan for answering this question. Tutu, you heard what the caller asked. Is there any other alternative other than banning diesel vehicles? Do you think is there any other alternative?
Hello.
And it is not only one particular thing. You must have read IIT Kanpur's report, in which it says that the pollution contribution by automobiles is only 18% of the total amount, and the rest is of course constructions and other generators and diesel generators and so on, which are doing so. So you have to take a holistic view on this entire thing and then take an action on those particular subjects, and probably if required, yes, why not ban automobiles as well if required.
Okay, we just drop in for a commercial break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Now we are going to discuss the topic of banning of diesel vehicles in more than 11 cities across the country. These diesel vehicles, which are more than 10 years old, wouldn't be allowed to ply. I'll go across to Vivek to take his point and then allow Tutu to respond. Vivek, do you think it will be prudent to take such a decision wherein in India vehicles are used at least for 15 years and even more as we see? Do you think it will be good to take such a decision wherein you ban diesel vehicles in 15 cities or 11 cities across the country?
See, the ban definitely it's a very final decision that one takes, but so far the 2000 cc engine ban in Delhi was up till it is yet to be heard in the court. The matter is still pending. So I think there has to be a solution, and government has to come forward with a solution with the diesel thing, and either they come up with like the way court has suggested, environmental compensation charge on diesel trucks that they entered into the Delhi, and it is very high charges, and this has led to diversion of the trucks, and in fact there are more requirements on commercial vehicles, but the similar thing is not happening with the private vehicle segment. So there has to be some solution has to be proposed by the government to the court, that what has to be done with the private vehicles which are growing at very much faster rate and dieselizing also.
Okay, point taken. Tutu, the central government in its representation to the court has also said that it does not actually favor or request the courts to consider that don't ban diesel vehicles more than 10 years old in 10 or 12 cities across the country. Do you think this will be a disastrous decision to take?
Well, honestly speaking, banning something I haven't really understood. You know, why are you banning a 10-year-old car? It is probably, you know, you have to have enforcement, strict enforcement of pollution norms by which you can probably even change your engine or upgrade your engine. What is the part which is giving you trouble? It's only the engine. The rest of the automobile is still running fine, and it may be absolutely in good condition in some standards.
Okay,
So
point taken,
what is
Tutu. We have a
polluting is
caller and I'll come right back to you with the question he asked. Abhinav is a caller from Delhi. Abhinav, what question do you have to ask?
No, in fact, there's a point that I want to make. It is just that the problem, diesel vehicles are running all across the country, from Kerala to Jammu and Kashmir, and we have problems in a few cities, and the problems are quite evident. Even if you go now, you'll see trucks all around and construction work going on all along, and diesel vehicles have been there all across the world. So why do we stress upon diesel vehicles only in Delhi? In fact, you know, it is, if you go on road, it is quite evident. There are trucks all around. There are other polluting things all around, and diesel vehicle is implicated for all the problems. And the data is precisely that 18% would be.
What is the point you are making? Are you in favor of diesel vehicles or against?
No, I am in favor of diesel vehicles when they are there in all across the world. And why do you have to ban?
Okay, point taken. Tutu will go ahead and answer this question and also make his point. Tutu, I hope you've heard the question.
Yes, I think he has made a point by which he is saying it is not only the diesel vehicles which are polluting, there are other factors also which are polluting. And as the studies of the IIT Kanpur says, it's only 18% pollution by automobiles which contribute to the entire cities. Now, what you are talking of taxing trucks and LCVs and heavy transport vehicles, what good is that? You are still polluting our cities.
Okay, point taken. We got another caller, Tutu, Manish from Chandigarh. I'll come right back to you and Vivek. Manish, what question do you have to ask?
Hello.
Yes, Manish.
Yes, I want to ask one. Hello.
Yes, Manish.
Hello.
Yes, Manish.
Hello.
Yes, Manish, tell me.
Yes, my question is.
Yes.
Yes, my question is, why the diesel car are banned in Delhi rather than Chandigarh?
Okay. Point taken. There is a general confusion among even users about why vehicles are banned. The case is going on in court, and that's what we are discussing. But now let me move across to Vivek. Vivek, could you tell me, because Tutu referred on 2 occasions to the IIT Kanpur study, don't you think that this whole insistence on diesel vehicles polluting could be a bit overrated or maybe more emphasized because vehicles are seen on roads and other kinds of pollution? Isn't that evident?
See, one thing is the IIT Kanpur study should have been like clarified. They have combined the combustion sources with non-combustion sources. For example, dust is combined with the combustion particles. Diesel particulates are very fine in nature.
Okay.
Like they come under the fine particulate matter and less than 1 micron in size. They damage the health more severely than say natural dust.
Okay, point.
And the global studies are saying that the health
Okay.
impact could be 9 to 10 times higher than the normal PM. So health
Okay.
differences
Point
have
taken. So
not
health
been
is an
accounted
issue.
in this study.
Vivek, we've
And
got
it
a
has not
caller,
been,
Jaikant from Pune. Jaikant, what question do you have to ask?
I wanted to suggest that apart from the private vehicles and customer vehicles, most of the vehicles of the public sector, which is the bus, the government buses, they are even more than 20 years or 25 years, which are running in the city, which are more polluted than any other vehicles.
Yes.
So first, the ban has to be done on those government vehicles.
Okay.
Government sector vehicles
Point
like
taken.
public
I'll
transport.
discuss. Thank you so much. I'll discuss this issue with Tutu. Tutu, the caller asked that why not first start with public utilities or public owned, government owned vehicles. First you replace them and then go to private. Do you think that's a more practical option?
That's one of the options. I would not say that is the option. Yes, that is one of the options. And in fact, for your information, the entire fleet, government fleet, which is running in MCDs and other public use, they are all Euro 2 and Euro norm. No zero norms which are running, and they are obsolete vehicles which are being reconditioned and put back on the road. So it's not that this is the only one. You have to take a holistic view on what all is contributing into pollution.
Okay, point
Yes, this
taken.
is
We've
one
got
of them,
Manoj Sood,
definitely.
another caller. We will take him and we'll come right back to you. Manoj?
Hello.
Yes, Manoj.
Yes, my question is to our Toto sir that I am from Gwalior right now.
Yes. Yes, tell me.
Yes. भोपाल में सबसे ज्यादा प्रदूषण आज की डेट में है और उसके बाद ग्वालियर इंडिया के नंबर 2 पे है. तो इंडिया में ओनली दिल्ली में क्यों बैन कर रहे हैं, वहाँ पे क्यों नहीं बैन कर रहे हैं, बल्कि सबसे ज्यादा प्रदूषण इस समय ग्वालियर में है. अगर
Okay, point taken, point taken. Tutu, would you like to answer this question? In fact, his content is totally opposite to your statement. He wants.
This is a
Yes, yes,
no,
Tutu.
no. This is a universal problem. This is not only confined to Delhi. I mean, the pollution is pan India. When you are talking of small cities, also yes, there is pollution there, and you have to start taking corrective measures. In
Okay.
fact, they have not even banned some of the old two-stroke engines which are still running in
Okay,
smaller
point taken.
cities,
We've
which
got
have
Amit from
maximum
Delhi,
polluting.
another caller. Amit, what question do you have to ask?
Hi. So my question is that see, most of the studies that we have actually gone through and we've seen, it shows that the maximum amount of pollution actually happens from the industries and from the constructions. But every time it is the consumers and their vehicles which are always targeted. And we are told you stop driving vehicles, pollution will go
Okay,
down.
good
But
point.
actually the
I'll ask. I get my panelists to answer. Vivek. Vivek, you heard the question. Industries pollute a lot, but only consumer. So, Vivek, how do you answer this?
See, in the industrial sector already the action being taken. So the good thing that has started happening in Delhi, that now there is a strategy put in place to take action on all the combustion sources. So for example, your Badapur power plant is about to, there are few units running, Rajghat has been closed. So your power sector is shifting to natural gas. So and among the other industries, definitely there are other directions also that they need to switch to natural gas. And on landfills, there are directions. The garbage burning is a punishable offence and it is banned also.
Okay.
So
Point
I
taken.
think the strategy
Vivek,
should not be mixed up.
now
Definitely we
now
need to
that
take, action
now
on
that
all
we've
the
seen
areas.
3 actions, I'll come to the final comments. Tutu and Vivek both should tell me. See, basically we are looking at 3 actions. First, taxis were banned in Delhi, diesel taxis. Now then more than 2000 cc diesel engines were banned. Now you talk of extending it to all over the country, but also ban 10-year-old vehicles. Tutu, give me your final comments on what do you think should be done and how should it be done in a manner which doesn't even hurt the industry, but it's also good for people, the health of the people and emissions.
You see, keeping all those things in mind, yes, you have to start taking corrective actions. But corrective action doesn't mean that you just knock off something straight away.
Okay.
Take a debate, make a debate on it, take a decision, and then take a
point taken. Tutu, we totally out of time now. 10 seconds to Vivek, and we call it off. Vivek.
The best way forward is to come up with a solution on diesel vehicles by imposing a one-time tax to recover all the fuel tax advantages.
Point taken. You are advocating a one-time tax.
And then
thank you, Tutu. Thank you, Vivek, for participating in the debate today. I hope you also had a good time talking on the issue. As we can see, diesel vehicles continue to be there in the limelight due to the NGT acting or consumer groups demanding a ban. The industry has its own grouses with 50,000 crores of committed investment. The coming months will actually show us what action and decision finally the courts take. Thank you so much for joining us on the debate today. Thank you.